My name is Nicola, and I'm a UX designer working in London for a big corporation at the moment. But in May, I'm going to start working for a financial bank in London as a senior designer. I graduated a year ago. Before that, I was playing tennis. So I was playing in Philadelphia for my university, and I was studying business management and sports. And before that, I was studying computer science in Poland for a year, and then I went to US. It was quite a journey.
Awesome. So did you graduate with a bachelor's, you said last year?
Yes, I finished my second year in Philadelphia, and then I moved to London to speed up my graduation because I knew I want to work in UX. I transferred to London, finished my third year here, and then started working as a UX UI designer in a startup.
Oh, very cool. So in London, is it different? Like, is it only 3 years instead of the traditional 4 years in the US?
That's it. Yeah, it's normal 3 years here in Europe in general.
That's really cool. I did not know that. Was there like kind of barriers for you to transfer to London to do school or?
Actually, I just needed like some amount of credits to get to my third year. I had to do much more because they, for example, 15 credits in US is for example, five. I don't remember now, but let's say 5 credits in UK. So I had to do much more because the amount of credits they calculated was not the same. So yeah, it was disappointing, but well, I want to graduate much faster. So I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome though that you were able to only have to do an additional year and then you were graduated. So that's great.
For the financial bag, I got the job now, and I started in May. I interviewed in January, so it was before the pandemic, and it took forever to get to all the interviews and then to all the background checks, and that's why after five months I'm gonna start there.
5 months. So you were in that process with one company for 5 months.
5 months, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you started with computer science.
Yeah, I did.
What made you want to choose computer science?
Basically, I was good with computers and I was kind of a geek, but I didn't really have computer science background, and I was very curious and I wanted to learn how to make computer games, how to make a mobile application. And instead of learning by myself, I was like, hey, why not just make a bachelor degree and learn everything throughout my university career. But after first semester, I was, oh my God, I was studying so much. I loved my C++ course and JavaScript, but apart from that, we had algorithms, data science, and I guess I liked all of it, but the professors didn't really spark joy in me. And I felt burned out. Like, we had exams every second week, and then huge exams from the whole 6 months. It looks different. Like, I'm originally from Poland, so in Poland, like, you study like crazy, and it can burn you out at some point. And I couldn't imagine staying there for 3 years. I'm like, no, I want to do what I want to do, and I got actually scholarship, tennis and sport academic and athletic scholarship in Philadelphia, and I decided to go.
So you went from computer science to tennis, which is quite a change. Can you
Oh
explain
no, I've always been playing tennis.
why you were
Yeah, so
okay, cool. So I guess like you got overwhelmed with like learning all the coding and
I mean, I love learning how to code, but I didn't like to learn all the theory behind algorithms, data structure. What else? We had a lot of math. I do like it all, but it was too much for me at that point. And when I imagine like myself in 3 years, I couldn't stand. Uh, I couldn't imagine being there in 3 years, So I was like, no. After a year, I'm gone. Thanks. And I'm gonna learn what I wanna learn anyway. So
right.
if I wanna build a mobile app for Android, and I can buy a course on Udemy and learn myself, and then Google everything. And I've actually done it. I made an app on Android, and yeah, it was fun, and I learned a lot. And you can always learn what you want to learn.
You made an Android app, like you coded it, you built it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh wow! And you used
I've
it,
used Unity actually. It's an amazing tool.
and you learned that through college or through a course you took online.
Actually, through YouTube and Udemy, some of it. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
I mean, I did have basic knowledge about coding, but it was a different language, so I had to learn all from scratch. Oh, that's a good question. Actually, so I went to study computer science because I knew there's gonna be computer graphics course or video production, but it was that, but from the programming perspective, and it wasn't what I expected. And then I was kind of lost in my life, and I didn't really know what I want to do. And I know that at some point I want to have my own business. So I just decided to study business at school, and when I find out what I want to do, I can always either switch course during when I'm studying, or learn it all by myself online. And there's never a barrier. You can always learn what you want to learn, and you have the power to choose what you want to do with your life in the future, I guess. But the reason I don't know why at that point. I guess at that point I had a lot of friends who were working. Uh, some of them were working for Facebook, some of them at other companies, and I heard how creative they are and how those companies invest in their employees. And it kind of inspired me, and then I dived in, like I searched more about UX UI design because I knew I didn't want to be pure programmer or anything like that. I'm not that good at programming anyway. So I'm a creative person. I love problem solving, and I knew that UI UX is the way to go.
Were your friends designers, and that's kind of what inspired you to look up UX design?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Some of them, but they weren't close friends. But most of it, I just searched online and read all those articles at Medium, like, hey, I got internship at Google. Hey, I got internship at Facebook. This is how I went from where I was before to where I am now. And it was also sparking a little joy when I was reading it, and it was very inspiring for me. Oh yeah, it was so hard.
What was the hardest part about it, would you say?
The rejections, I guess. So I was in my third year of university, and I knew that getting internship. I know actually it started during the second year. I didn't have a lot of projects on my portfolio, and my CV was really bad. I didn't have much to show on my CV, so I was applying for all those internships, but I didn't get any. And then the next year, I'm like, okay, this is my final year of uni. I'm gonna work on my portfolio, on my CV, and I'm going to get an internship next year. And I was in my third year of university in London, and I started applying already in November 2017, 2018. In November. And then I've been applying in November, December, January, February, March, all the rejections, all the ghosting from recruiters. And then I got a lot of messages from recruiters on LinkedIn, actually. And one of them, so I was interviewing on site a lot at the same time. And and while responding to those recruiters on LinkedIn, I was able to get the job, my first job in a startup in London. Actually, at the same time, I was coaching, so I'm also a tennis coach. And I found a client who wanted like 3 websites, branding, and all of it. He was an investor as well, so he was very creative. So he was creating his companies all the time, and he was my first client. So I was able to dive deeper into freelancing and working from home, and being creative, creating what I want, and then sending it back to him, and he loved all of it. So it was amazing. But then I was trying to look for more freelancing job. It was hard for me. I don't know why. It didn't just work for me. I couldn't find any more clients. Like I did find like here and there, but it wasn't like a lot of money, so you can live off freelancing and travel at the same time. So then I was working at the startup. Then I was working there from April 2019 to December 2019. And then I stopped working there. I went to a bigger corporation. And then from there, I'm going to finance. We'll see. Yeah, but rejections, like you need to just like overcome it and just keep going no matter what. Like focus on your goal, stay stubborn, consistent, keep learning, make sure your CV looks better every time, ask for feedback on your portfolio, on your CV, and you'll finally get that first job. So I was open for opportunities on LinkedIn, and when you do that and your profile looks good, then you get a lot of messages from recruiters, and I was replying to most of them. I went on site many times for interview, rejection, go for an interview, rejection, all the time. And then after a few months, I got it. I got a job. Yeah.
You said you worked on your portfolio and also your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, that's correct. And CV as well.
So it was just a continuous iterative process of.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What I think helped a lot was using the XYZ formula from Google. When I used it, I got so many more answers to my CV, so many on-site interviews at that point, and it was mind-blowing. Seriously, it changed everything. Oh, actually, I've done I've done this freelancing work. I've also been lucky and I got like 2 days freelance work at an agency in London, like working for Adidas and Vodafone. So I was able to write it on my CV. I also did some work for a marketing company in Philadelphia. It was like a dance studio where I was taking care of their social media and stuff. So I have written that as well. And I also got an internship in London. Because I knew, one of my coaching clients knew someone in London, and I told him, hey, I'm looking for an internship, and I'm struggling so much. I keep applying, but no one wants me anywhere. Can you help me, please? Like, if you get like a chance to, if you know someone. And he knew someone, and he recommended me to that person, and that's how I got my first internship. So it's important to network with people and tell them, hey, I'm looking for a job. Do you know anyone?
So that, I guess, the importance of connection is really powerful.
It is, yeah, and the importance of asking for help, because I find it hard for myself to ask, like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? Because I'm very independent and I always Google how to do this, but you can't Google how can I get a job there? Yeah.
I think part of the issue with that is maybe people will be seen as less qualified for a job if they have to ask for help for getting hired.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same, but
that fear, you know.
Exactly, yeah. But I just asked, like, hey, like I try to be cool, you know, like, hey, I'm looking for a job. Do you know anyone? If not, that's totally fine. Don't worry. But if you know, you know.
If you know somebody, right?
Yeah.
I guess I just have one more question. For anybody that's struggling to get like freelance work, like you were able to do, what advice would you give?
I would say just keep going, no matter how hard it is. Just look at your goal and keep going. Be stubborn. Never give up, and be persistent. And don't worry about rejections. It's normal. Everyone's got them. I got like, oh my god, like 1,000 rejections, and it's fine. You just need to get used to, I guess, and stay positive. Yeah.
I agree. I can vouch for the rejections. I've lost count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Really helpful for me, and I know it's going to be helpful for others. So thank you so much for doing this.
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure.